Dude, I can't even begin to explain. I can't even begin to explain how hyped I am, man, to talk about this chapter. I've been dying all day. When you have a chapter like this, and you have to go to work and function properly in day-to-day activities, it's very, very difficult, man. It is extremely, extremely difficult. I read that chapter at around 9:30 in the morning. And I had to leave. I had to get ready. You know what I'm saying? I had to go spread and get everything ready so I could head off to work. And that's why you saw that the reaction was 20 minutes, because everyone knows me, man. Listen, I had to attempt to speed read that One Piece chapter, because if I didn't speed read it, everyone on this planet, at least everyone that's watched me, knows that I would have been there for at least an hour. I would have spent at like 30 minutes just on the on the conversation between Kaido and Big Mom. Just knowing me, just knowing myself, I would have spent at least 30 minutes on that first two pages. Because I can't help it, man. When Oda gives me greatness, I can't help but to look at it, But what's going on, everybody? King Recon here. We're going to be talking about some awesome sauce. Let me make sure the audio is good, because I've been doing iPhone streams the past couple times, but today in particular, I wanted to see if I could, after a little while, since it is the first ever live Recon's piece, I wanted to get a couple of my squad in, to talk about the awesome sauce as well. But I'm going to be going solo here for the beginning of the stream. But let me just make sure that all audio is good and whatnot. Let me just take a look here. And I apologize for the video quality, guys, and whatnot. But thank you all so much for stopping by, man. Let me see something right quick. So is audio good, everyone? Yeah. It looks like audio is good. Audio is good. So yeah. Let me go ahead and look at some familiar faces right here. We got Jose in the comments, Karan Brown, Osama Vicio. We got Ahiba, what's good? Hiba, Velvet Dream, Uchiha Shadow, my guy. Mac 10 with a beast fic, yo. Main D Moon, what's going on? One sec, I'm getting notifications right here on the side. Samadul Rashid, well, how's it going, my friend? We got Marek right here. Let me see. Hazy, yo, Hazy, man, what's good? Thank you very much for stopping by, yo. I greatly appreciate it. I know that you were busy, but thank you for stopping by. Then we got Nathan right here. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the absolute awesome sauce. Oh, I see Laz right there. Oh, thank you, Laz, for letting me know that the audio is Ichiban. But yeah, man, so this is going to be the first ever live Recon's piece. If you guys just recently subscribed, I used to do this this segment called the Recon's piece, and I'm definitely planning on bringing it back soon. That's why I wanted to do the live Recon's piece as soon as possible. I've been building this up for like 6 months, but I love doing the Recon's piece, which is basically the same thing as the Afterthoughts segments, where I can just sit here and ramble and talk about the chapter page by page, whatever the case that I want to talk about and about the chapter and whatnot. Especially when it comes to a chapter like this. I decided earlier while I was working, I said I'm not going to do just regular Afterthoughts for this chapter. I don't think I can. I'd rather just come on here and just talk to y'all, straight up live stream and see what everyone's thinking on here, so I can get like a live feedback from all of you when it comes to this week's chapter of One Piece. And I really, really wanted to get the reaction out sooner, because I know somebody's going to tune into this and be like, yo, did you do the reaction? I'm like, yeah, brother, it's already up. But for regardless, whatever the case may be, we're doing this. Now, this is how you know how badly I wanted to watch, or how badly I wanted to talk about One Piece. The Cavs and Golden State are playing right now. And I love basketball. But my love for One Piece is right now overtaking my love for basketball, man. And that's a hard shoot. That is a straight up shoot. Anybody who knows me knows how much I love basketball. But see that poster right there of the king? Of the king! That overtakes basketball for me, man. So before we get into the actual Afterthoughts discussion, reading some comments and whatnot, I want to read, finally, that I've been building this up for 6 months, man. I want to read what all of you thought were the top 10 chapters of 2017. Well, no, I think it's top 5. Top 5 chapters of 2017. Because, for the love of God, I've kept y'all waiting long enough. So let me just read this top 5 right quick, man. Let me read this top 5 right quick, man, and then we'll get into the awesome sauce of the possibilities and the greatness of what happened in this week's chapter. So, look at this, guys. I want you to see this right here, man. Top 5 One Piece chapters of 2017. Here we go. This is what y'all voted. This is what y'all voted right here, man. Starting right off right here, number 5 is chapter 860, also known as the chapter that introduces both Katakuri, the legend, aka Dennis, and the main man himself, the Bear of Big News. That's a legendary chapter right there, man. And I think the anime did an exceptional job of covering that. So that came in at number 5. Now, really close to it in points. Number 4 came chapter 888, which is a Sulong chapter. And I know how much we were all hyped over that. And the crazy thing about it is that I did this very poll. I think it was the week after that chapter came out. So people were obviously really, really excited for that one. That one came out at number 4. That was a great chapter, man. I can't wait to see that in the anime. Number 3 is chapter 863. Shout out to the Sanji dodging chapter, man. That's another chapter that's probably in my personal top 10 favorite chapters of last year. That was a great one in 863. Number 2, this one is definitely in my top 3, maybe even my top 2. I don't know what my number 1 chapter is from last year. I have to think about it, but I know for a fact this is up there. Chapter 878. Any chapter with a Roger sighting. I always say this. There's 3 characters. Any chapter with a Shanks, Roger, or Blackbeard sighting is an auto 10 out of 10. It's an auto 10, bro. That's why today's chapter was an auto 10, not the shoot. And then coming in number 1 is chapter 867. And that's a great pick for number 1, man. The legendary flashback with Big Mom. So that is what you guys picked as your top 5 chapters of 2017. Once again, number 5 was 860, number 4 was 888, number 3 was 863, number 2 was 878, and number 1 was 867. Those are your top 10 or your top 5 favorite One Piece chapters of last year, according to the poll. So let me go ahead and take a look here, and now let's dive right into the awesome sauce of the chapter, man. Listen, yo, this week's chapter of the best-selling manga in history. One could argue is easily one of the best chapters that we've gotten, not only post time skip, but I can even see an argument for one of the best chapters in the entire series. I can definitely see both sides of that. It's a chapter that, from the very beginning up until the very end, is absolute and utter insanity, and every single page is important. It has one of the most insane beginnings. Like, how do you start a chapter? Look at this. I want you to look at this, man. How do you start a chapter? How do you start a chapter with a conversation between Kaido and Big Mom? Who starts a chapter like that, bro? And it scares me. It really does, guys. It scares me because if you guys remember, back during I believe it was it Naito? I think it was Naito that said it. One of Oda's editors said that they don't even consider Reverie to be an arc. And I'm like, brother, you don't consider this to be an arc, and you're giving me some gold stuff. Like, Oda said he wants to get through this so he can go to Wano. What's waiting in Wano? Like, I mean, I understand that this is all set up for Wano, and he wants to write up by the guy. If I'm writing this, I'm hyped to write something like this, man, especially a chapter like today's, with all these different revelations, different moments. I mean, insanity. I mean, from the moment that I wrote the Otohime flashback, I would have been extremely excited. I would have ended the chapter on that. You know, there's multiple end of chapter moments that were scattered throughout this entire thing. The chapter started with an end of chapter moment with Kaido and Big Mom. Just look at this right here, man. Right here, Big Mom states, "This isn't about you. Listen, if I don't personally take Straw Hat's head, it'll be like a spit in the face. I need to get something of mine back from him too." Now, what is she referring to right here? I actually want to see your guys' comments right here. So on the very first page, Big Mom states, "I need to get something back. I need to get something of mine back from him too." What do you guys think that is? Is it just in terms of like he owes lifespan for having been to Totland? Could it be something like that? As far as stretch would be that she wants Sanji back, possibly in order to marry Pudding, in order to but that whole thing with the Germa is pretty much already done. So I don't know why she would want Sanji back. But what do you guys think? Let me go and look at the comments real quick. Do y'all have thought of anything when it comes to what it is that Big Mom wants back from Luffy? Let me see. Oh, my boy Sanji. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. Zeus or Sanji, or in terms of Zeus. Yeah, that's true. You know, with Nami having Zeus now, so hypothetically speaking, let's just say Big Mom shows up which I am expecting it now after this chapter. Let's just say Big Mom shows up at Wano, and the scariest thing about this is with both of them showing up at Wano at once and having the possibility of both of them clashing, but then teaming up at one point in time, which we'll get to in just in a little sec, is, and then of course with both of them possibly being under one captain. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, Zeus possibly being up there. Oh, J-Dev. That's right, the Poneglyph rubbings from Brooke. That's a great point. That's a great point. Yo, see, this is why I love doing these live episodes. This is why I love doing these live episodes, man. Right here. Two back to back, Zeus or the Poneglyph. Yo, my boy, Go to Troll in the com. Yo, Go to Troll's an OG, man. Shout out to Go to Troll. That's my boy right there, yo. Go to Troll's an OG, man. Yo, Go to Troll. Speaking of that, just real quick while I have you here, when it comes to the TPN thing, what with the whole Lewis situation, don't worry about that, man. Don't worry about it. I know, like what I was saying in the video was that I didn't really remember, so it just came off. Like I apologize if you got offended by that. Like yeah, no worries, man. You didn't spoil me. That was I just didn't remember if I read it, but regardless, yo, that's my dude right there, man. Go to Troll, yo. But yeah, definitely, it most certainly could be Poneglyph, the Poneglyph rubbings, or Zeus. Most certainly, I didn't even think about either of them for some reason. Maybe I was just so caught up on the whole. I mean, listen, when a chapter like this comes out, it melts your brain. Like legit, I was sitting over there now, dude. I was training somebody today, right at work, man. I was training. So can you imagine trying to train somebody? It's like you're teaching them how to do something that you know how to do, and in the back of your mind, you're thinking, "By God, Shanks is at the Shanks is at the body job." And I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life here, yo? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. Oh, but Alley Cat brings up a great point. They thought they didn't know about the rubbings. They stripped Brooke bare bone and checked him and found nothing. That is also a good point. I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's just so many different things that it could be, which is why I think that Oda left it there for us to speculate, of course. But that's a great point. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things, honestly. I mean, he took a W. Honestly, I mean, let's keep it real. Just based off of what Morgan said, he took a W from escaping. Sanji and allowing Sanji or taking Sanji with him to escape with Zeus and Poneglyph rubbing. So Brule told Mama. Okay. Factual. I wanted to make sure. Man. I wanted to make sure, yo. Let me see. So Brule knows. Yeah, that makes sense. Because she did hear a lot of their conversation. She was there. She was flipping there. You know what I'm saying? So that's true. She definitely knows. That is a very, very good point. Yo, my boy Quentin coming in strong. Yo, Quentin, man, thanks a lot for the donation, yo. I really do appreciate it, man. God bless, and I hope you have an awesome day. And stop trolling Laz, yo. Stop trolling Laz. But yo, Quentin, that's my guy right there. Thanks a lot for the donation, yo. I really do appreciate it, brother. Let me see. So yeah, let's go back into the chapter right here. Okay, so then we go down on the bottom. This is an excellent panel right here. I love this panel so much with the dagger going down onto Luffy's wanted poster, because it just, anytime that I think about pirates, I always think about a dagger going through either a bounty or a dagger going through some gold or a dagger going through like a lock. Maybe I don't know. It's just something I've always had where I always associate like daggers and like these smaller little swords. I remember whenever I first started watching this one series. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I never finished season 1, but I got to get back on it. It was called Black Sails, and I remember in Black Sails they had a lot of these small little like blades that they would go around and like fight with. And I always thought like, man, that would be such a cool little feature that I would love to see like in One Piece. And right here in this small little panel, Oda has it on top. I know it's a small thing, but I always love stuff like that. And then Big Mom proceeds to say, you owe me a huge debt, right, Kaido? A huge debt, yo. Now listen, man, whenever I got home earlier, and I started dying of laughter at this title. Shout out to my boy Dustin. Dustin's stream was titled "Does Kaido owe Big Mom child support?" or somewhere around those lines. I was dying, man. I was dying. I looked at my sub box, yo. I was like, man, Dustin's insane. I love my dude, yo. when I saw that, I was like, hey, man, who knows? Who knows, man? If they were on the same crew, bro, who flipping knows, man? They're both insane. Who knows, doc? So yes, she basically says, you owe me a huge debt, right, Kaido? What that debt is, I'm not entirely sure. But then we move over into a snowy type of place, which I'm still going to assume is where it was Wano country right here. That's from a long time. And he proceeds to say that's from a long time ago, which means it must have been from back then. Maybe something related to the rocks incident, where Kaido or Big Mom, like because of Big Mom, Kaido was allowed to escape or whatever the case may be. Even though I don't think just knowing Kaido they would ever escape from anything, but like I said, I need to get more of Kaido's backstory. But regardless, it doesn't matter. It's a lifelong debt. So that should be interesting to get more information on that. And I even love that we get a little bit of insight right here. Just a small little panel right here of Kaido's little Mushi right here. It looks pretty cool. So then we go right here on the bottom, or on the next page, it says, I'm the one that has a grudge against him. I'll kill you if you dare to come here, Lin Lin. Now, when I saw Kaido by itself, it was a hype panel, right? Just seeing Kaido in a chapter by itself to me is a hype chapter. I mean, like I said, that by itself proves to me that it is like a chapter ending worthy moment. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it was in the first 2 pages was absolutely insanity to me. But hold on, Hazzy just told me somebody donated. Much appreciated. Let me go ahead and look right quick. Let me see. Yo, Tacos! Another OG! What's up, Tacos? I may not make as many comments as I used to, but I'm still here. Tacos, man, God bless, yo. Thank you so much for the $5 donation, man. I really do appreciate it, yo. Tacos is another OG. Shout out to Tacos. It's really cool to see you still around, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, yo. Let me see. So, Indigo Starlight says Ben Beckman is one of the rocks. Hey, man, we'll see. We'll see. Yo, that would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty crazy. Speaking of that, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually. We'll get to that. Let me just go right quick. Oh, I see you guys bring up the Shocky theory. So when it comes to the Shocky theory, I went to the OPDF earlier, One Piece Defense Force. Shout out to One Piece Defense Force, and I saw that, and then like I was trying to make a connection in my head, and then my boy Sam in the Discord made the connection for the Shocky theory on how Shocky. Well, let me see if I can bring it up right here. I would love to read it verbatim right here. And yo, next time we go to Sabaody, like if this is a shoot, next time that we like move over to Shabandi, it's going to be I'm hyped for it. I can't wait to see a panel between Rayleigh and Shocky now. If that's a shoot, if that is a straight shoot. Let me see if I could find the thing that I was sent earlier. Sweet. Okay, right here. So I'll get to the Garp panel in a sec, but Shocky states right here, he used to chase me a long time ago. Shocky used to be a pirate. That was 40 years ago. And then you have the same name as Garp, the naval officer. He used to chase me a long time ago, 40 years ago. I love that theory. I really, really do. I think it would connect Shocky very, very well into the story. Having her around Rayleigh by itself, it causes a lot of clout. But the fact that she grew to really like Luffy and whatnot, that would connect it really, really well, which has me really excited to the next time that we see a little moment with Shocky and Rayleigh, or just Shocky by herself, just chilling in the bar. She looks over, and I can't wait to see her again. Yeah, hopefully that is connected. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead. I think I got another notification right here before I get back into the thing. Another donation. Yo, hey, thanks a lot for the donation, guys. Let me go back right here. Yo, Sergio, man, thanks a lot, yo. Thanks a lot for the donation. I really, really do appreciate it. But going back to the Shocky thing, I think that'd be pretty cool, yo. It'd be pretty cool. I don't think that she was necessarily a captain, but as far as a member of the Rocks goes, let's just go ahead and talk about that. Screw about talking the chapter in order. As far as the Rocks goes, when I heard about this organization, let's go into that panel right quick. Let's go right into that into the panel. I'll skip these two and I'll come back to them later. But going into the Rocks, are you talking about Rocks? I'm sure that you've heard of them, especially you're so young, and there's no doubt that before Roger came along, it was their era, but that was more than 40 years ago. Now, they're speaking about them in terms of that people that only lived in their era would really know about them. Like they were insane and they were really GOAT in their era. But knowledge of them really didn't pass on, at least that's what I'm just based off of that's what I'm getting from that. Like, people back then would have known the clout that Rocks and crew had. However, if an individual comes in like 40 years later, they probably might have never heard of this person. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder why that is. Maybe is it because legends, because maybe it's because Roger came up and he became this long lasting legend that people would talk about for years to come. That people just forgot about this the Rocks, which I still do believe is the lurking legend. But that would be intriguing in of itself, just to find out, if it isn't just because Roger's influence, Roger was the main point of discussion for so many years. Why is it that they never talk about Rocks? I think that by itself is an interesting topic. Let's go ahead and go back for a sec. Now, this right here is really cool to me. Whenever Big Mom says, feel free to try, but this isn't up for debate, I'm giving you a fair warning. I'll be the one to take Straw Hat's head, got it? So let's get along just like the old days. Now, listen, man. Listen to me carefully. I said, I think it was during chapter 818. If Kaido knocks on the Reverie, on like the Mighty Joa's door, I'd probably drop every other manga. And I take that back now because I saw Shanks pop up in there, and I didn't drop every manga in existence. All right, because I can't, especially where they are right now. I can't see myself dropping Gintama and Ippo and whatnot. That can't happen. But I could do it for a week. If I'll tell you this: if Kaido, if something insane happens in Mighty Joa, I'll drop every other manga for a week. All right, I'll do that. But just going back to that thing. How in the flying flagnards is anyone going to be able to put up with a team up of Kaido and Big Mom? I'm not a power scaling dude. I like listening to the discussions, but as far as like me in my own head, power scaling is not really my thing in terms of like I can't really tell you who's stronger than who just based off of that, right? But it's really hard for me to see a scenario, unless all 5 emperors get involved here, where Big Mom and Kaido together? How? And then you're gonna have Rocks up in here too, unless Rocks, like if Rocks' crew gets up into Wano as well, and we start seeing some clashes between. I don't know, man. I would love to see what you guys have to say about that, because Big Mom and Kaido teaming up. I mean, of course, I expect a clash. Like, if Luffy's right in the middle and they're both trying to get for the head, they'll probably clash a little bit. But for the love of all that is holy, man, how do you stop a team like that? I'm a huge fan of the Marines and of the government and of the admirals. I love the admirals. In fact, Kizaru wanted to go up into like swimwear and said, "Akainu, send me." That's how you know Kizaru is a flipping goat. When he states that send me, and Akainu basically tells him, he's like, listen, yo, I would send you, but we don't know much about the Wano forces. Initially, when I first read that, I took it as, he's fearing the strength of Wano. But then I actually looked back on it and I was like, no. If he's planning on sending Kizaru and an army over there, then he wouldn't want to just lay waste to a whole bunch of his men. I mean, I know this is Akainu we're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that even now at Fleet Admiral position, he's changed a little bit in terms of his responsibility and the way he thinks about how he goes about his business. So even with like him sending Kizaru, he would probably have to send some other people with him too. And so with that in mind, he wouldn't want them to just be slaughtered. So that's the way that I interpreted that after initial rereading. But somebody just oh, thank you for letting me know that somebody donated. I really do appreciate that. Let me see. Let me go back. Yo, Koi, thanks a lot for the donation, yo. What's up, King? How's it going? This chapter has had me going crazy since 4 a.m. I can't even imagine reading this at 4 a.m., man. I remember when I read chapter 801. I read 801 about 4 or 5 a.m. I didn't have work the next day, so I think I did have work. I just didn't care. But I know when 801 dropped, I had a lot of people telling me to stay up for the chapter. And it got to the point to where I said, all right, I'll stay up for the chapter, man. And I waited, and somebody hit me up with a message on Twitter telling me 801 is out, and I live reacted to it here on live stream. And I stayed up until like 8 in the morning, from like 4 in the morning to 8 in the morning for 801. And I thought that chapter destroyed me. If I would have done this, if I would have done 907 at 4 in the morning, I'd probably have like a Brago size stream, 10-hour stream, bro. 10-hour stream. If I didn't have work today, I would have like a 10-hour stream. No question, bro. No question, man. It would have been madness. But yo, thanks a lot for the donation, Koei, man. I really do appreciate it, yo. But going back into the chapter here for a sec. I love whenever the Marines get respect, man. There's just been something about them for the longest of times that whenever somebody like whenever we see not really feats, but because I love whenever we get stuff with the Yonko, of course, and everything, like it's amazing. But whenever we see hype on the admirals too, it's always really cool. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But right here we get to see, as my boy Sawyer calls it. Yo, shout out to Sawyer, man. Sawyer calls it. The first time I heard him say that this is McDonald's, I started dying, bro. I was like, yo, it is just one big massive M, like McDonald's headquarters. Yo, oh, it has you, man. Thanks a lot for letting me know somebody donated. Yeah, like McDonald's headquarters is now the new Marine Fort. Yeah, like I freaking Akainu is the leader of McDonald's. Yo, let me see right here. Oh, right here. Yo, Jaguar D Sol, man. Thanks a lot for the donation, yo. Yo, Recon, you're a beast, my guy. Yonko level. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, Jaguar D Sol. I really do appreciate that. Yo, Dustin, my boy, in the comments, man. Hey, Dustin, bro, the name of your stream earlier, I was telling everybody in here earlier, had me dying, bro. It had me dying because all day today while I was working, one of those things that I was thinking about was this debt that Kaido had, or that Kaido like owes Big Mom. And whenever I read your title on the way home, bro, I was done, bro. That was hilarious, man. So yeah, shout out to Dustin, yo. My boy Dustin stays putting in work. That's the dude right there. Let me go back into the thing. So yeah, like McDonald's HQ right here. Going right, dude. One thing that I really loved about this entire situation with Big Mom and Kaido was after the Marines state that their communications are wide open, like basically saying, "I have enough clout. We have enough clout to where we don't have to worry about anyone hearing us. Who's gonna stop us? Realistically speaking, who is gonna stop us, bro?" And I love that. If that's not a display of not only strength, but the belief that no one is going to even attempt to go at you just because of who you are, that to me that's clout. That is clout, man. You know, if there's one word that describes this chapter really well, it's clout. That's for damn sure. Shout out to my boy Momonga in the cut, man. Yo, I remember whenever I saw Momonga in the Bo Hancock scene, he immediately became one of my favorite Marines. After I saw that, I was like, "Yo, that's such a dope scene." But let me go ahead. No, man. Listen, yo. Shall I go Sakazuki, man? Ah, Kizaru. No, he knows. He's not an idiot. He knows that Big Mom and Kaido are there. He says, "Send me. Me by myself? I'll be in." I mean, listen, man. Kizaru by himself, bro. Man, listen, man. Just him by himself against Big Mom and Kaido, bro. Listen, bro. I love Kizaru, man, but that's an L. that is a hard L, son. But I love Akainu's response to that. He does not tell him no or yes. He just says, "We have no idea how strong the Wano country's forces are, man." Because it's facts. You know, you're not going to just send your whole thing into just dying in there. You know what I'm saying? So right here, we go into the next page, and I thought this was really cool. And for those of you who read the SBSs, you would recognize this character on the side right here. I didn't remember her name, but then while researching while I was at work earlier, I believe her name is Momosagi, right? And yo, I remember I forgot who I was having this conversation with, but it was a while back, and I was like, yo, she is like, real talk, one of the hottest One Piece females, and she's not even in the series. So when I started in that panel, I was like, hey. We've got her in there. Shout out to Mo. I believe her name is Momosagi. I know I have the volume. I just don't remember where in the volume, or where in the volume that is. But regardless, I thought it was really cool that Oda decided to include that in this week's chapter. Right, hold on, I got a notification from Discord. Let me just real quick. Yo, hey, Hazy, man, you're the real MVP. Thank you for letting me know when people donate. Yo, I really do appreciate that, dog. Because you don't have to do that, man. God bless. Let me see. Go back. I don't know why it takes me so long to look back into the into Google Chrome. you guys have that problem for any of you that use Google Chrome? Like, I swear it takes like 5 years for you to go from one application to the other. Maybe it's because my computer's bootleg, but I need some Vegapunk technology around these parts. Yo, Lazy Man, thank you very much for the donation. Yo, always love your vids, man. Yo, I really do appreciate that, man. You know, for the content creators that are in the comment section right now, that they can vouch for this. But whenever you guys leave behind nice comments like that, it really does make our days, man. It's really dope to know that at least somebody out there, appreciates and wants to be on this journey with you when it comes to a certain thing. And just for us here in the YouTube anime community, it's for One Piece. It's really cool to have people that want to be with you on this journey, because it's kind of like having your own crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, go on there and just for us sailing and continuing moving forward is every single time a new chapter comes out, and it's really cool to have friends out there that you can talk to about One Piece with and everything. So it's really, really dope, man. Thank you very much for the donation, though. I really do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and go back out right here. Hold on. Hey, lads, that's a shoot, bro. Firefox still running on a hamster. Yeah, Firefox is trash, bro. Firefox is trash. Listen, man. I used to use Firefox, and then I said, nah, we ain't doing it anymore. I'd rather deal with Google Chrome's garbage than Firefox. But then we go right here into the next page. We're back at the Red Port, and we see what Garp's been up to, and then we get a Hina sighting. Man, I love me some Hina. So just seeing some Hina in this chapter was automatically really, really awesome sauce. So then main gist the main gist that I want to get through with this portion right here is whenever Hina starts speaking, it says, but Garp-kun says, speaking of Big Mom and Kaido, you're hailed as the hero of the Marines because, are you talking about the rocks? I'm surprised that you've heard of them, Hina, especially since you're so young. There's no doubt that before Roger came along, it was their era, but that was more than 40 years ago. Nevertheless, the past is the past. Even though they lost their captain, their power is still growing. Hina's worried. And then Garp brings out a line that is the equivalent of whenever he was talking about the two legends. You guys remember that panel? Whenever he was talking about the two legends with Rayleigh and Whitebeard? I love that panel, bro. Listen, Garp has some of my favorite panels in the manga. Actually, one of my favorite emotional panels in One Piece is whenever, if you guys remember, whenever Garp was talking to Ace up on the execution stand. I talk about this in my top favorite. I don't remember if I made this video on the old channel or the new channel, but regardless, it's whenever he's talking to him about family, man, and how he has no like he has no remorse for criminals, but for family I do, bro. It's like I have no pity for criminals, dog. But for family I do. Listen, man, that hit the heart, bro. And with Golden Odin playing, God, that's one of the best Garp panels. Regardless, Garp brings out a line just as legendary as his line about Rayleigh and Whitebeard. And he states, there's no use worrying about it. Although it would be a real threat if they were to make a comeback, it'd be an incident too far beyond our imaginations for us to do anything. And the thing that gets me so hyped is that you see the Luffy. You see the Monkey D in Garp when he says this. He gets excited. He gets excited over a challenge, over the fact that these rivals that he must have had in the past could possibly be resurfacing again. I love stuff like that, man. It's just an excellent panel. Not only for us as One Piece fans to find out more about the story and to know more about these Rocks characters. And when I first thought about these Rocks characters, as I thought about it throughout the day, I was like, you know what? What about if they're like the Phantom Troop, where they do a lot of like under the ground stuff? But then I was like, well, people and kids apparently like Hina knew who the Rocks were back in the day, So I excluded that possibility, and I was like, well, we'll see what happens with that. But still, just in terms of story and in terms of character, this is just an amazing character one for me. It's so cool, man. Now, this portion right here is very, very interesting because there's two ways you can interpret this. It's either a segue into another thing that Hina's talking about, or they're legitimately talking about Kaido and Big Mom being on the same ship under this Rocks person. Now, I was talking to Mac earlier in a little miniature call. We were only able to talk for a little bit, and I really want to talk to somebody about the One Piece chapter, so I hit up my boy Mac. And he brought up a very interesting point, stating that the what's that called? Every single emperor that we know that has been in this era was originally on somebody's ship. Shanks was on Roger's ship. We had Blackbeard on Whitebeard's ship. So it would make, I mean, just logically speaking, if Big Mom and Kaido were a part of this Rocks dude's crew, that would make them four. I mean, of course, Luffy, man, he's the king. My boy doesn't have to be a part of anyone's crew because he's the future pirate king. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, that's just throwing some more greatness on my boy the king. But just sticking with Big Mom and Kaido, it would fit with the current alignment of those four emperors. Of being at one point in time on one of the big main crews, which to me is a very, very interesting, just very interesting thought. So I love this page. This is an excellent page, man. Excellent page. What do you guys think about that? Let me look at the comments real quick. Um, God, man, Google Chrome takes me 50 years. It really takes me 50 years, yo. Let me see. I know Hassan is a huge Garp tard, yo. He's a good man. He's a good man, yo. Let me see. Yo, this boy Juice. What's going on? I always love that Jing Pro picture. Garp is a legend. That's a hard shoot. That is a hard shoot. What would make the situation? Yo, what's going on, Yak Attack? What would make this situation worse than anything you could imagine, according to Garp? Oh no, I thought you were bringing up a theory. Yeah, man, it's insane. Worse than anything you can imagine, bro. Worse than anything you can imagine, man. That's spooky. That just by itself makes me believe that that this is the lurking legend that Oda was talking about. And all of this has to connect to that damn straw hat that we got at the end of last chapter. But regardless, let's go ahead and continue right here. So let me go back to the Holy Land, man. And I said this in the reaction, but I'm so happy that it's confirmed that it's Pangea Castle. And there's been theories running rampant, man. There was these crazy theories going on in Discord that the best-selling manga in history and Hazy, and then they were discussing about ores and the insignia being similar to ores at the end of last chapters, and like him being continent polar could be like connected to that whole Pangea thing. And I was like, yo, man, I'm loving it, son. And the fact that Ores himself is a giant, man, I was loving it, dude. I was like, man, keep feeding me these theories. This is all really dope. So then we go right here, and the empty throne thing is obviously Oda. We know Oda's a big Game of Thrones fan, and going back to the Throne Wars and everything, but this was just so cool, man. And this whole empty throne situation to me is so awesome because we have what appears to be the 20 swords on the top level next to the sword or next to the seat itself, the Iron Throne, the empty throne of the Mighty Joa. You have 20 blades right here, which signifies, of course, the 20 kings of the original, coming from the ones who formed the world government, and then everyone else apparently has to put their blades on the bottom level, showcasing that these all of you are on the same level in terms of the kings that are right here, but those guys are on a level beyond. Now, I couldn't have been the only one that whenever we saw this empty throne, I said by the end of this arc, someone's sitting in that throne, man. Someone is chilling. They're gonna have one of the most godly panels in the arc, man. Straight up chilling in there, one foot over the other, maybe even reading some One Piece, man. Just like, yeah. I mean, I can see it. I can see Dragon doing it. Can you imagine Dragon? Can you imagine, dude? That would be an ultimate declaration of war, specifically to the Celestial Dragons. That is an insane. I just thought about that. Like, can you imagine? He like, all jokes aside, like with the whole sitting in the chair thing. Of course, that's disrespectful. But like, what if the chair is like more like a symbol, and Dragon comes up in it like somewhere, and he destroys it? That sounds like a declaration of war to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. So that would be pretty interesting. Oh, and apparently, somebody donated. Thanks a lot for letting me know once again, Hazy. Let me see. Yo, Michael Mickles, man, what's going on? Yo, what's going on? It's always good seeing your comments. This chapter deserved a Santa hat appearance. I'll forgive it, but you slip in, king. This chapter was most certainly a Santa hat level chapter, man. It's just that whenever you're trying to balance what time it is and how long you have left, my mind was on two things, man. My brain was melting over One Piece, man, and I was like, like the Santa hat was all the way up there, but this is most certainly a Santa hat level chapter. No question, no question. It definitely. You know what? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right. You're being factual, yo. You're being factual. We've got that. We got the Santa hat, man, of legend right here, yo. So I gotta wear it. It's a legendary chapter. It's a legendary chapter, dog. But yes, I couldn't agree more. Laz says right here, Dragon sitting on the throne is panel of the decade, no question, no question, man. And the crazy thing about this whole Reverie situation and all this stuff going down is that like all of this, we're all getting hyped over everything we're seeing, and it's still all set up for something to come, man. Like when all this stuff actually starts popping off, I'm legit spooked. I'm spooked, man, because it's gonna be insane. This was a setup chapter, bro, and this was madness. God, man, this One Piece greatness, man. But regardless, we'll go back to the empty throne once again. I think this would be an excellent declaration of war from Dragon, man. I think it'd be really, really cool. Just to have him like chilling and sitting there, man. That'd be such an epic panel. Then we go into the next page. This one is one of my favorite pages in the chapter. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it verbatim here. The 20 weapons that surround this throne is protection of the symbols of the creator of this world. The founding 20 members made their own pledges here 800 years ago. This throne sits in the center of the world. Nobody has ever sat on it because its vacancy symbolizes peace in the world. Like those with the highest authority in this world, those are the helm of celestial dragons, the 5 elders. There is no single king of this world. Now that the thing about the Gorosei, the 5 elder stars, being the ones that are at the highest authority and at the helm of the celestial dragons was very interesting to me, because I always looked at the Gorosei as being, even though they're really, really high up there, I still thought that they took orders themselves from the celestial dragons. But that entire thing just like changed up that entire narrative for me. Just that one panel alone changed a lot of that for me. But still, it's very, very interesting. I can't wait to learn more about the 5 elders, especially after the end of this week's chapter. So I just want to know, because knowing Oda, everything has more significance than what it appears to be. So I want to know, before Dragon destroys it, or if he even destroys it, sits on it, whatever the case may be, or even after, whatever's gonna happen. I want to know the significance, or not even the significance, what more is there to this seat? Because of course you have the sitting in a chair, and that by itself gives you power. I think there's something more to this chair, man. I think there's another reason why nobody's ever sat in this chair. Yeah, that's the best way. That's the best thing I'm trying to put. But somebody donated it according to Hazy. Thanks a lot, Hazy. Let me see. Google Chrome takes 5 years, man. I greatly apologize, guys. Let me see. Yo, Alley Cats, thank you so much for the donation. Alley Cat, it's always a pleasure reading your comments on every single one of the chapter reactions. So I definitely do appreciate you stopping by for the live recon space. $1 for each blade. Grab your throne, King. Yo, I got a screenshot that. That's a sick line. That's a sick line, yo. Thank you so much, Alley Cat. $1 for each blade. Grab your throne, King. That's sick, man. I might put that in my in some sort of bio somewhere. $1 for each blade. Grab your throne, King. Yeah, that's a sick line. Thanks so much for that, Alley Cat. I really do appreciate that. That's dope. Let me see. But yeah, I definitely do think that the Philly T said that it's Aizen's chair. Aizen's chair. Yo, man, listen, man. Aizen factually, this knowing where Aizen was down there, this factually could be the same thing, but just opposite. Because Mighty Joe's all the way up there. It's pretty much the same thing if you really think about it. Shout out to Aizen's chair, man. Good times reading manga weekly. So then we go down here. Now, obviously, I also think we're gonna have the panel with King Stelly, sitting down on this chair. I'm just wondering what circumstances are going to lead to it, because he wants to sit on it. He wants to be a part of Celestial Dragons, but what circumstances are going to be a part of this? Whenever he sits down on the chair, takes a seat on that chair, because we know how Stelly is, man. Stelly's just one of those dudes who wants everything. He's a spoiled kid. So, what circumstances are going to lead to him sitting in the chair? Is it going to be where there's just so much chaos at the Reverie that he's going to take that advantage of some Game of Thrones stuff, and while everybody's out there killing each other, he's going to sit there in the chair and relax, and then at that point, Dragon will come up in there, punch him, and get him out of there. Sabo does it. That'd be pretty dope. But Stelly, I think, will sit in the chair, and that might trigger what the chair actually is. We'll see what happens there. If I sit on that throne, I'll be the king of this world. That's a very, very interesting statement. Because you think about the title of Pirate King and what Pirate King could mean. Like, whoever sat in this chair right here. Now, this is some food for thought, and I got to give a shout out to my boy Laz for this for this one. Because we were talking, I believe it was either off air or on air. I think it was off air. Where he was telling me that the possible owner of that straw hat that we saw at the end of the last chapter might have been the leader, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I'll invite Laz on here later, but he could clarify. But I believe it was where he said that the king or the leader of the celestial dragons at the time might have been the one to have had this hat, and thus maybe that's the same individual is the one who has this throne, or who was on this throne, was the one with the OG hat. I think that's also a possibility as well. Especially just considering the fact that it belongs to the celestial dragons. It didn't belong to a pirate or to someone around those lines. I think that'd be a pretty interesting little dynamic that Oda could play with the story. But anyways, yeah, Stelly's definitely gonna sit on that throne by the end, no question. This part right here had me so mad, man. I don't know if anybody else felt the same way. Like Charlos, to me, I love heels, I love villains. I truly do, man. But there's just certain villains that you know they're written so well because you just really want to deck them in the face. Charlos going all the way back to Sabaody. When I saw that punch take place, I'll never forget the very first time I read that. I mean, the satisfaction rate was up here. I was so hyped when I saw Luffy punch Charlos, man. And every single time I go back and rewatch it in the anime, it's just beautiful because he punches Charlos all the way back into the manga. But Charlos coming up in here and using a slave. This bastard doesn't even do it himself. He uses a slave to try to capture Shirahoshi, man. Goes right in. I mean, and I was mad, bro. I was like, Sai, why is Sai holding back? You're part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, and you're holding Rebecca back. Like, I understand that you don't want Destroy to be destroyed, but somebody give this man the help. Come on, man, for God's sakes. That's why I was like, yeah, Vivi, let's go. And it's really cool to me showing that Wapol, like, even though we always see him as just everything's mine. Whenever he sees the Celestial Dragon too, he's like, yo, man, we gotta chill, we gotta relax, man. So it's really cool, showing up and hyping up that. But shout out to Vivi, man. Vivi going right up in there and about to deck man's in the face. So going to the next page. This is a really nice double page spread by Oda. Really reminds me of that of a Sabaody type of double page spread. If you guys remember how the double page spreads were in Sabaody, Oda really liked to showcase different reactions that were taking place during the Sabaody arc, while also showing, especially whenever they exited the auction house. We got a lot of really nice double page spreads like these with like Kid, Luffy, and Law whenever they're going up against the Marines. And we had some really nice double page spreads like this where we would see like a certain thing happening down here in the corner, some reactions to it, then we would see another thing to it, like to where we would see everything around them. I really enjoyed the double page spreads in that arc, and this reminded me of the Sabaody double page spreads. So yeah, it goes right in, and then we see oh, this is so cool, man. Leo goes in. And then somebody decks, just straight up goes in there and breaks them down, says, you ain't touching nothing. And when we turn the page, it's none other than Robert D. Lucci, bro. And that's my guy right there, man. Listen, when I watched Film Gold, I marked off for a couple scenes. Man. I marked off for Sabo. I love a large Sabo mid-theater because I didn't care. But when I saw Lucci, I was like you had the King of Lightning finger wag back in chapter 731's live reaction. It's fucking Lucci. That's one of the greatest videos in the White Tag, man. Oh snap! But Lucci greatness, man. Just seeing him. Finally, full body, into like swimwear, showing CP0, the squad, seeing Robert D. Lucci. You're seeing Stussy. And seeing Stussy, I was hyping her up last week because I thought she was going to be the assassin that was going to go on to take on and assassinate Doflamingo. Because I really wanted a conversation between Stussy and Doflamingo. But now that she's up here, I'll take that too. Because just knowing what Big Mom, or the way that she spoke to Big Mom and the way that she spoke to Dufeld and how old she is, I know she has to have some knowledge on some old voice century stuff too. So I can't wait to see what she knows. She has a really awesome outfit right here. Then we can see Kaku, my boy Kaku's rocking a little fur hat right here, man. And then the last one is someone very, very spooky that we saw way back in Dressrosa, and we don't know who that person's identity is. We'll see. We'll see when Oda decides to reveal it. I said a long time ago, that that person right there is another survivor of Ohara. But we'll see. We'll see. I've been saying that for a long time, bro. But we'll see what happens, man. I think that would be dope because I don't think that Robin is the sole survivor. I think there's at least one other, and it'll be really cool if another sole survivor is a part of the world's greatest intelligence agency, which is the Cipher Pol. So yeah, man, just seeing Lucci and squad here was super, super dope to me. And he has an excellent panel. The Celestial Dragons are the gods who created this world. To put it simply, the ones living here are the kings of the lower world. Cuckoo! So it's only natural for a god like him to get everything he wants. Charles goes right in. We get to see some crazy little panels with Shirahoshi and BV. BV is just cutting a promo. Lucci's cutting a promo. We got King Neptune about to go in here and risk his life. And then, oh man, dude, like it was building up so much. My heart was speeding at the speed of light. And then we see somebody just knock him with a club. And this to me was another one of the biggest. It's crazy to me how the two biggest revelations were right next to each other. I did not expect, of all people, guys, and I do mean this. I really, really do mean this. Of all people, I did not expect this man to not only. I did not expect Mosgard to not only be the one who hit him with the club, because that's just such a beautiful thing, man. To where Otohime's words actually reached him to the point to where he wanted to come back and was waiting for them, to come to the reverie so that he could, talk to them and want to work something out. And the fact that it was introduced like this was beautiful. I mean, amazing, man. Absolutely incredible. He could not have been introduced to any better. And the fact that he's a Don Quixote también, chacho, es una cosa increíble, man. Increíble, man. You just look at it and you're like, yo, even the smallest little detail like that back in Fishman Island came back. Not only did it come back, but it meant something. Like just showing that those words that Otohime spoke really did mean, like they meant a lot, man. And that portion by itself really made me want to go back and rewatch that entire flashback, because I think the anime did an excellent job of doing that particular portion in the anime, man. It was just it's insane. I mean, I was marking out, bro. How could I not? I was marking out hard. Flipping throughout the entire scene, like Mosgard, man, he's a Don Quixote, but not only that, he comes right up in there and he says, "The now to see Queen Otohime opened up my eyes. She made me human." Like the words spoke to her, bro, or spoke to him, and just the way he was introduced and everything. That by itself, he could have ended the chapter on that, man, and I would have been like, "Yo, this is an 11 out of 10 chapter." And then we get to this, man. We get to the portion of the chapter that had me thinking all day. I'm pretty sure that had all of us thinking all day. That just could imply so many different things. That it just shows the amount of clout that this man has. I mean, just even now, all these hours removed from reading this chapter, I sit here before you guys shook. My man Shanks shows up in the room of authority with all the Korosei gathered in a dragon-like hood, like he's pulling up. I mean, straight up on the street, in the middle of the rain. And he tells them, "I give you my thanks. I want to talk about a certain pirate." Not only that, but they put respect on his name. "We only made time to talk because it was you." The same thing that Sengoku told them. Whenever they stop the war, we'll stop it because it's you. That could imply many different things, man. To me, All right, now this is something that, of course, is based off perspective, but to me, that just shows me how respected this man is in the world of One Piece, bro. Because, and the thing that makes this panel so interesting to me is why and what would he want to talk about them with when it comes to anybody? Like, regardless of who this is, regardless of whether it's Luffy, Blackbeard, the Rocks, Lurking Legend, whatever it is, just a simple fact that he wants to talk this over with the Gorosei is dead serious to me. It elevates everything. It elevates the stakes. Because regardless of what comes out of this conversation, the man went out of his way to cloak himself in the middle of the reverie when he knew all of them would be gathered, and he must have known too that Dragon was about to go into like swimwear as well. His observation hawk is out of this world, so he must have known that Dragon is on the move as well, and he's still doing all of this. He's still, with all this happening, walks up in there with mad clout and tells him, "Yo, we gotta talk about this pirate. I don't care what y'all got going on. We gotta talk about a certain pirate, man." And regardless of one of the three that I just mentioned, what will it lead to? What will it lead to, and how will it go into the future of the series? This chapter, after I read it, I said, you know what, man? We're really heading into Endgame. This is what Oda meant when he said Four Emperors Saga. This chapter really showed me what Oda meant when he put out that we are in the Four Emperors Saga, man. Insanity, bro. In flipping sanity, bro. I can't get over that. I can't get over that last page. And I don't think anyone in this community can. There's just so many different implications off of that, just that one page. There's many different ways to perceive that last panel. But it just shows me, like, is Shanks looking at this as a dire-like situation where he has to talk to him about something before something happens? I don't know. It's like Shanks has so much clout, and with his crew, it's like, why would he need to go to them? But then I just think about it, and I'm like, the world is still a balance. Like, whenever I see a panel like this with Shanks and the Gorosei, it reminds me of those conversations I used to have with Dre and them back in the old live streams. We would talk about why it is that the government and the Yonko don't eliminate each other. That's because they need each other for balance in the way the world works, in the way the world of One Piece works. And when I see Shanks meeting up with the Five Older Stars, it solidifies a statement for me. But just so many different implications, man. I saw so many heel turn comments. I saw so many Shanks' evil comments. And, I'm not throwing out any possibilities out the way. That's just not the way that I perceive it. But there's just so many different implications. And the fact that Oda decided to end a chapter like this and not go on break just shows me that he has some even more insane stuff planned. And I'm like, Sugita said he doesn't even consider this an arc. He doesn't even consider this an arc. They were hyping up Wano. If I was an editor, I'd be hyping up Reverie. It's like, bro, it's madness, man. It is legit and utter madness, man. This Four Emperors Saga has the. And hold on, give me 1 second. Let me charge my laptop real quick. This has the possibility of definitely being Paramount War like level, which I'm pretty sure it'll surpass it, man. Because this is everything we wanted to see in that entire saga between like Sabaody, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, Post Marineford, Return to Sabaody, like that entire saga right there. Of like all the stuff that we've been wanting to see for so long going down now. It's just, man, dude. It's madness. It's madness, dog. Yeah, Mandy Moon brings up a great point. If Shanks was evil, he would have been smiling. That is a factual statement. Usually we get that. Yeah, I agree with you, Philly T. A Blackbeard or this Rocks guy. You know what's very interesting to me, guys? Is that even with all the stuff that we're getting, Oda's still hiding Blackbeard. We've gotten a look at Blackbeard's beard back in Dressrosa. We got to look at Blackbeard's beard. We've gotten more into Burgess. We've gotten more into like his battles with the revolutionaries. We even got a silhouette back in chapter 903. And with all that being said, the man still refuses to show Blackbeard's full body. When will we see Blackbeard's full body, man? Wano? With the way Wano's being built up, man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And that's what I love so much about this chapter. Is that Oda built up so many different possibilities that he can go in any direction he decides to write it. Now, if the Navy shows up at Wano, if Big Mom shows up at Wano, if Shanks shows up at Wano, it will no longer be oh, this just happened because it was hype. No, it makes sense. Because with this one chapter, it was even Garp or anything like that. With this chapter, he's showing us that anything can happen here in Wano, man. And that's the truly insane thing about, or anything can happen, not only just in Wano, but in the future of the series. Multiple clashes happening at any moment. New world, man. This is the new flipping world, bro. Let me see. Lazy Artist brings up end of this arc, full Blackbeard appearance. Gotta be. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it. I really wouldn't. What do you think personally about Shanks now? You know, I still feel the same I always have about him. Just I need more time to process what this final thing means. To me, honestly, I'm more interested in his character than I've ever have been now, and I've always been interested in Shanks' character. He's always been the most mysterious member of the Emperors to me. One of the most mysterious members of the entire series to me, or one of the most mysterious characters. But after this chapter, that's even more, because now not only do you have to bring into play the respect or the informant route, you also have to bring into play the fact that he might know a secret that could threaten them. And that's why they allow him to do all this, along with his clout and along with his strength. There's many different factors. And honestly, whenever I saw the end of this week's chapter, and whenever I was thinking about it today, it just made me realize, like, Shanks is more interesting now to me than ever after this. Because we just don't know. How much clout do you have to have, man, to do this? Just walk up into the Gorosei's room, bro. Holy sweet mother of flag nerds, man. Alley Cat says, hold on, but before that, Shamark says Shanks is about to unleash the most fire promo of all time. That's a shoot. I can't wait to hear a Shanks' promo on right here. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be madness. Let me see. It says right here, Shanks is so wary and fixated on Blackbeard. It's got to be him. He wants to speak about his threat level as beyond just the pirate world. That's most certainly a possibility. You know, to me, it's got to be one of those three. It's got to be Luffy, Blackbeard, or the Lurking Legend, or Rocks. It's got to be one of those. Just to further go into the story. Now, let me ask y'all this real quick. You can put a 1 or a 2 in the comments section. I want to see what you guys think. Next chapter, do we get the continuation of the conversation between Shanks and the Gorosei, or do we switch to something else and not get the continuation of this conversation for quite some time? 1 is continuation. 2 is we switch to something else. Let me see what you guys think. Right here. All right, I see a 2 right here. I see another 2. I see a 1. I see Derek Davis was a 3. I see another 2. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so I see a lot of 2s. I see another 3. You guys are trolls. Yo, Ramon Gonzalez, thanks a lot once again for your donation, yo. We need a seinen series about Shanks. I feel he's not the man we think he is. He's on an adventure. He's a pirate. Remember when they executed a guy? Hey, man, you're definitely right about that, yo. Yo, listen. He straight up pulled up. I don't know why I find that moment to have so much clout, man. But when Lucky Roo just straight up pulls out a gun and just that for a long time, that was the only death that we had in real time in One Piece. You know, you know what I'm saying? Lucky Roo just straight up, get him out of here, coach. He said he straight up Shanks just told him straight up right off the bat, man. It's like, we're good people. We're pirates. We're pirates, dog. That was such a sick scene, man. Beginning of the series, Romance Dawn Greatness. A seinen series about Shanks would be dope, though. Let me see. Yeah, hey, I'm with Main D Moon on my personal feelings. I want it to be 1, but it's gonna be a 2. That is a hardcore shoot. That is a hardcore shoot. Let me see. Alley Cat, where were you? Where were you? Let me see. That reminds me of what Khan said. Right? Is that what you're referencing? Of what Uzumaki Khan said whenever Shanks showed up to end the war? Where were you? Where were you 10 episodes ago? Yo, Uzumaki Khan is the GOAT, man. Where were you? That was GOAT. Oh man, yeah, but I most certainly agree. Last of the 4. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Yo, hey, real quick, Laz, let me send you an invite, man, because I haven't watched your video, so I want to know what your thoughts on this week's chapter. Let me invite my boy Laz in here. But yeah, man, let me press C. Jesus, the Cavs are losing by 23. Well, I'm glad I decided to do this One Piece reaction because I'm not even mad. Or not reaction, freaking discussion. Not even mad, bro. Not even mad. I'm talking about One Piece is 10 times better. Let me see. Oh, Hazy, you brought it up? Yo, greatness, yeah. It was a Monkey Con, man. Yo, Genai, what's going on? Yo, Genai. While I have you right here, yo, this is much love from Brazil. Shanks and Dragon team up versus Goro. Say, Shanks and Dragon, bro. Listen, Shanks and Dragon are both gonna be there, right? I saw somebody earlier on Facebook. Whenever I got home, I was looking throughout the little things that I usually look at on the feeds that I look on Facebook. I saw somebody say that we could get a possible clash between Dragon and Shanks. Now, at first, you may be thinking about, why do they need to clash? Listen, this person brought up the possibility of them clashing, and then we have yet to find out why they clash. Because they could clash, but they could also team up. Because listen, man, Dragon and Shanks, you don't know their history, bro. You don't know their history, so I think that'd be a pretty interesting scenario. But yo, shout out to a special guest joining the call right now, man. My boy Laz.
Mosh.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Oh, I didn't even realize my audio was this low. All right, I just raised it a little bit.
No, you sounded good before.
No, I'm talking about like hearing audio.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I had to raise it.
Yeah, I talked to Dunn.
Kevin Dunn. That's my guy right there, man. Yo, what do you think about that, Laz, bro? Have you heard about that? Like, if Shanks and Dragon were to either clash or team up, what's your thoughts on that?
It's funny, man, because I was talking about with Brago and stuff, and we were like talking about what kind of scenarios we could see pull up in this from this meeting, and the fact that we haven't not seen Dragon yet. Because we have like Sabo as like the as the knights and everything. We're seeing Karasu's in the skies, Morley's within like the red line. I think if anything, he's probably that one person that's just gonna pop out of nowhere. Almost like think of like back in Jaya when we had like when Doflamingo, Kuma, Mihawk when they rolled up, like you didn't know who was rolling up in that place. So I could see it where it's like in a higher level where it's like you have a Yonko, the rulers of the world, and then the most wanted criminal in the world. Like that in itself would be crazy because then it would kind of make us wonder like what is this connection that they possibly have between Shanks and like with Dragon being from the East Blue and everything, right? Because I do feel like there has to be something probably connecting them like at this point.
No, yeah, man. I think there's just too many, like even going back to who they're connected to.
Yeah,
there's just way too many different things that would connect them. That if it see that's the thing. Like we all expected going in here in Akainu versus flipping
Dragon
clash. Now we could possibly be getting an actual Lucci versus Sabo clash, like film goal.
Yeah.
God, man, and then I'll tell you what, man. If Shanks and Sabo, or if Shanks and Dragon like have like a conversation, that's a mark out. That's a mark out moment, man.
Yeah, I would honestly, because it's almost equivalent to like let's say if Jing were to meet up with Crollo. Like to me, that's what it'd be like because it's like the unlikeliest of people to meet up for certain reasons, but because these reasons kind of align for them being at the same place, it's like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I couldn't. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah,
that scares me, bro. Because it's like whose team do I go on? Probably a Team Dragon, but then it's like Shanks has been here since day one, bro.
Yeah,
Dragon's been here since Chapter 100 gang, but then there's Chapter 1 gang, man.
Facts.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. Don, bro, he gave him the hat, bro. He gave him the
hat. And Dragon factually watched everyone lockdown as he should.
Yo, I'll tell you what though, bro. Listen, man, I love the Revolutionary Army, but my boy Lucky Roo pulls up, bro.
That's a big facts, man. Hey, listen, Yasop could shoot the antenna off an ant from miles away.
That's a hard shooter. Yasop versus Akai Shuichi would be a very, very interesting matchup. Very, very interesting matchup, yo.
Oh man, I don't know who would win. To be honest, I don't know who would win.
Yo. Stay.
Is it what?
He has so much clout
Yeah.
that he's always in his prime. But obviously, whenever he had both arms, he could utilize both of them. But I think because he lost one of his arms, maybe it's just that, or maybe it's just that he only really needs one arm with the stuff that he does. Possibly, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think about that, Les?
Well, where, because it kind of cut out for me because my internet and stuff. But were you saying that with Shanks?
Yeah, do you think Shanks is currently in his? I think he's still currently in his prime, even without it. Even
I
without
think
one arm.
yeah, even like you know what it reminds me of Recon. It's like it's a funny little thing, but it's like think of when Austin when he had to have one arm around his arm like around his back when he had to fight Vince McMahon. Like
Okay.
it don't matter. You can have literally him handcuffed and he's still kicking ass regardless whoever it is because he's already lived up to that name. If he's a Yonko, he's a Yonko for a reason. So take away an arm, take away a leg, he's still a Yonko.
That's highly factual.
And it's like, and even then, it's like, you better be happy you're fighting with one arm. If you're fighting with two arms, I don't know. I don't know, man. The odds are going back to Vegas, man, and I'm putting my money on Shanks. Like,
straight fact. Hey, man, I'm putting my money in Shanks too, bro.
Yeah.
But real quick, just a quick question to not only Laz but to everybody in the comments. How many emperors out of the 5 do we see in Wano? Quick question.
So I'll say, okay, so obviously, of course, we got Kaido, we got Luffy, a Big Mom I think I could definitely see it. I don't know, maybe towards the end of the arc.
Okay.
Shanks is because it's a tough one because where he's at right now. Because if he goes and goes straight from here to Wano, then he has to be, he has to have time travel or something. I don't understand how he could be able to pull it off, man. You know what I mean? But it's like, but I could see Blackbeard eventually making a move because I think for the fact that he's been so like out of the game literally since like the post-war arc and now like him coming back and like again silhouettes and stuff, there's something going on. I think if anything whatever Shanks is talking about has to probably refer to him, maybe because the only reason why I don't see it as rocks or locks or wherever we see the translation, because it's like, again, if this was from a time back before Roger, I think the only people who would really know the true nature of this monster would have to be the likes of again Roger, Rayleigh, and with Garp. So for someone like him, like Shanks, who was probably like a cabin boy during that time, whenever like they were done, I think he only knows like a small grasp of whatever's there. But it then depends on whatever this conversation is, because he probably could know whatever information from Rayleigh or something.
I know. I think he could know just based off of what Hino knows, because according to Garp, he knew. He was like, oh, you of course because you were little during that time. So that means that like maybe little kids looked up to Rocks.
Yeah,
possibly something along those lines. Or like Rocks was like the Stone Cold Steve Austin of that area or something. Like
yeah, he was Dwayne.
Every little kid wanted to be Rocks.
He was Dwayne, bro.
He was Dwayne. Oh yeah, legit Rocks.
It makes sense. But then they were saying it's either a person or a group. So I would like the concept of, let's say, like the supernovas, that's what their name was back then, like the Rocks. Because because as weird as it would sound, like if you think like asteroids, right, space, and supernova, space, right? So that was what their thing was. You have the asteroids, and then you have the next level, which is a supernova, literally. So
then the leader of the Rocks, which is the leader of their generation, was that
person.
That's
interesting. And then you have again, if Kaido and Big Mom are tied to them, then it would make sense. And then I don't know if you know about the thing with Shaki, how she could be tied to all this, which I don't think she's the captain, but definitely as a member of the crew,
absolutely,
I could definitely for sure see that. And then it would make sense too, because again, she went to hiding and stuff. Garp used to chase her and everything, and like the fact that this man got his name, because I knew for a long time it wasn't because of Roger. He was chasing him and everything, but he never got that solidification. So it kind of makes me wonder where he got the hero name. And it's like, if he got it from this dude is not okay. Like they were saying in the chapter, if this guy were to come back or his crew to come back, the world's in chaos. It don't matter, bro. You could have Kaido having like a world title match with Big Mom and Wano, and right out of nowhere, bro, Hogan himself can just pop right back up at it, and then that's it. Like,
yo. Speaking of that, because in the end of this chapter, can you imagine like Shanks shows up in the middle of like Big Mom and it's hypothetically speaking, Big Mom and Kaido, they're fighting. The Marines are there. You have Rocks and like that crew over there. You have Strats over here. You have Shanks go up in the middle, and you'll have like everybody back in WCW. Whose side is he on? Like when Hogan came in, whose side is he on? I know he's here, but whose side is he on? That's how we're all gonna be, yo. comment section said whenever I asked the question, some people said 3, some people said 2, but it was mainly 2 to 3, 2 to 3 for the Emperors. Some people said all 5. I don't know, because I feel like all 5 would be something like final arc.
The world would end. The world would end.
Yeah. Having all 5 of them in one place. I mean, I think we could have all 5 of them in one place. They're just not all going to be clashing. They're not all clashing. You know.
Can you imagine that combined full strike attack all at the same time, bro? Like that island's blowing up.
Yeah, regardless. I think the planet.
They're gonna have to go live on the moon, bro.
I think just like real talk. I think just Shanks, Kaido, Akainu, and like let's just say Shanks, Kaido, Akainu. If like all, like the 3 of them were to attempt to like clash, I mean, yeah, Dragon in there too. The world ends.
Yeah, it would.
It's the end of One Piece, yo.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those guys have a knocking power in them to stop the world.
Knocking. Yeah, shout out to Kaido. If Kaido has a knocking power, man, he actually started Pangea, or ended Pangea all those years ago.
Yo, his full course is wild. Like,
yo, Kaido's full course would be insane.
Yeah, he would have sake as his main drink for sure. Yo. Yeah, this is like, yo, it's in a way, it's like now we're hyping up Wano even more with that love, because it's like yeah, like I still feel this is an arc.
It's all set up, yeah.
Like even like this is an arc still to me. Like regarding what the booking team says, this is definitely still an arc, man. Like, but it just again like it's to increase like the level of the hype of where the long-term future of the story is right now, because like I agree where they're coming from. Definitely, it feels like now we're like we understand where the 4 Yonko saga is going. Like, and again, this feeling like endgame stuff.
Absolutely.
But it's just like, yo, like, because again, if Oda's saying that in these next 10 chapters, we're going to get info that's going to be out the wazoo. And this is the start.
This is just a start.
Like, Recon, last week we got the Chamber of Repose and the armor inside.
Yes.
In this chapter, we got the Keyblade Graveyard. Are you telling me Kingdom Hearts is being revealed next chapter?
Yo, that's right. The graveyard. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I was so caught up in the Game of Thrones reference and the fact that like all of the kings put their put their blades up there, where I was like, yo, what you just said just hit me, bro.
Yeah, because dude, it makes sense with the grave, because if you look at it, right, you have the 20 blades right next to the throne, and then in between Stelly and the staircase at the top, there's like a whole row full of like swords. And I'm thinking the symbolism for that is like, this is where, like, let's say for example these belong to the ancient kingdom, like their own weaponaries and stuff. This is where you stand. This is where I stand at the throne, at the top and stuff. And that the symbolism will work even more, because 100%. Again, if we say the vault is the ancient ruins, and them building their empire on top of like, you know, the ancient kingdom, it's like further cementing like them being the dominant group basically of this.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like that's crazy. Oh, man. Oda's in his bag, bro. I'm telling you, man. Oda last year, you know, he was shooting 20%, but this year, bro, most improved player, most valuable player, 2018.
I can't agree with that, bro. You gotta put respect on Oda's name, bro. Yo, last year he was actually shooting. He was shooting a really good percentage, but this year he's making all the shots. This year he's made every shot thus far, bro. He's just straight up hitting. I mean, he has 100% field goal percentage this year.
Yeah, he honestly, he's like Steph Curry right now tonight.
I don't know what that's a shoot.
Yeah, like man. But
let me go ahead and ask you this though, in terms of this Reverie arc. Do you see a conclusion to the Reverie arc, or do we do like an Impel Down situation, or we shift into Wano and come back later?
I mean, it could definitely. I mean, the 7-day conference stuff, I think, kind of tells us that's probably what's going to happen. I don't, especially the way the chapter was with the chaos we got before the Reverie started. It's like we haven't even started, and all this is happening. I don't know how you let us, especially again, saying in 10 chapters. I don't see Oda going 10 chapters and then concluding 7 days worth of the story. That's not his style. Really, you know, that's more of like, you know, you're coming towards like the end of a massive arc, then you go in advance time. But seeing that we're only gonna be there for like 10 chapters or so, and it's like 7 days, I feel like it is gonna be one of those scenarios where it's like we're probably gonna get maybe a couple days or so, maybe 1 day, and then time's gonna shift, and then as soon as we get done Wano, we'll go back there, and maybe whatever info is relayed during Reverie, I could see come back to play in Wano, because again, it's like
I agree.
You know, we having like, you know, the fact that we know that the Poneglyphs are built in Wano and stuff, you know, the Kozuki clan, everything. I think there's probably information there that could tie to what they're saying in the Reverie, and it could be one of those like two sides of the coin. You have one side's saying of what they believe this is this, and then the other side of them telling what's going on. So two different stories, but on the same topic. and they're trying to
Mm.
favor in their thing where it's like the true history is being told exactly like in Wano, because for them it's like you don't want to give away the whole thing. You want to kind of
Yeah.
keep like all these people together, and at the same time, Charles kind of messed up everything
Oh yeah.
with that, because it's like, how do you go and trust these people when you have a sicko who should have been taken out, like in Savodi, running around with that, with the madness? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, hey, I'm glad he got taken out the way he did in this chapter, though, man.
Yeah.
That was an excellent moment.
Man, shout out, hey, listen, bro. Shout out to Don Quixote, Mrs. Orda, however you pronounce him. And listen,
I call them Moss Guard.
Mossguard.
Mossguard, yeah.
Don Quixote family, listen, Dolphy's a sicko, but the rest of that family are angels.
That family's strong, yo. That's a goat family. Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to my boy in the comments. Northside Z, bro. That's an OG. That's my guy right there. And he said, I better not see Shanks and Dragon in the same panel.
Bro, I'll tell you, I might have to drop manga for a week. I'm gonna be honest. I might have to, bro.
Oh, bad.
Man, like, let me see. That's like, bro, it's like putting like in the back of your mind. It's like, that's a possibility. It's something like you would think it's a pipe. It's a possibility at this point. Possibility.
Bro, that's what, like, that's my favorite thing about this arc so far, guys, is that before 903, I don't know if you guys remember, I made this video called like what we're gonna see in Reverie, and I had like these notes in front of me, and I was like going through every single thing. It's like I don't think any one of those points has been touched on, but everything that we've got is godly. Like it's like he keeps breaking my ankles. Like I expected Reverie to start like in 904. We're in 907. We're still in pre-Reverie. The arc is already fired. Like, man, dude, and it's madness. Like, how are we getting all of this? And like you said, the arc hasn't even, or the actual Reverie itself hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. They haven't sat down. They haven't even discussed, like, what we're having tea or coffee. We're having lemon or milk, like.
Yeah. They haven't even brought up the possibility of the abolishment of Shishibukai.
Yeah.
Cobra hasn't brought up the Void Sentry and ancient weapons.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it is, man? I think the reason too, like, and now I'm starting to think of the mindset that Vegapunk could definitely be there for the sake of revealing whatever the creation is that he has.
Okay.
And then kind of put into a vote right there on the spot. Do we keep the warlords or we run with this thing?
Oh, man.
And it's like, imagine some of the warlords are there, for example, to get invites or they hear about this news. Like, what do you do from there after,
Bro, what about if instead of sending the warlords to Wano, he sends whatever that thing is, that Vegapunk?
Yeah, I could see it.
Because then Akainu will be in the situation where, okay, I don't know how strong the guys at Wano are, but these guys aren't real. Like, I can just send these robots over there. I can send these robots with Kizaru, or with Kizaru and Green Bull, or whatever the case may be. Send them over there. We'll send Marineford to them. Maybe we'll be in the like swimwear. That would be madness.
That would be like Order 66, literally on Wano. That would be.
God, who knows, man? With the way things are going, I don't know. Yeah, it's just there's so many different possibilities, but that's what makes everything so great. It's just I feel like every single moment in this chapter made me just realize, like, man, it's like I thought I knew what I was getting into, but I really don't. I really don't, bro. Like Kaido and Big Mom possibly being under the same crew. We've got Kaido and Big Mom. What is this? We've got Kaido. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh notification. I was like, what the heck?
New marathon?
Yo, Kaiba's over here trying to let me know the obelisk is attacking here or something. But anyways, then we got Kaido and Big Mom, making communications, open communications, discussing over Luffy, man, and how they might box each other if one of them tries to get Luffy before the other does. And it's just, so many different things, man. And, it's incredible to me how this one chapter, which I can easily see, like, I remember I saw your tweet earlier saying this is top 5 in the series. And what's incredible to me is that we're saying all these about these chapters that are happening right now, but all this is set up for things that are to come, man. So can you imagine when all this stuff actually starts popping off? We're going to be saying that every week. We're already saying it every week.
Like the top 5s we're looking at now are probably going to be like top 20s or top 30s because there's going to be so much things that are going to probably top it afterwards. And even older chapters, you can even make the case that like their rank should be even higher because of what they set up for the future later on. So definitely. Like I could definitely say the Otohime stuff. I think now, I think it just raised Fishman Island's prestige up just a bit more, just because of now with the stuff we got with Mossguard and like with Otohime, man. Like Now it's like I want to go back and reread Fishman Island again just for the flashback. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I said I wanted to go watch Wano for the flash. Oh my god, man! I just tuned into the game and I tuned into the worst part because the Warriors just won. Yeah, they're champs.
hey man, shout out to that guy from Akron.
Hey, it's okay, man. LeBron's going to either LA, Philly. I'll take him back here in Miami. It's Bron, bro. If you want to come back here, if you want to come back home, bro. If you want to come back home, man. Listen, we could have some tea. We could have a drink, man. We'll talk about some One Piece, yo. You know, we'll get something going, bro. We'll get something going.
You imagine, bro? He goes back there, and Chris Bosh finally gets healthy. He comes back.
Oh, Bosch was on Undisputed the other day.
Was he?
Yeah, he was on Undisputed. I was like, hey, shout out to Chris Bosh, man. I like listening to him speak. The way that he speaks about the game is, I feel like I learn a lot whenever I listen to him talk. But since this is a Recon's piece, and we can not only talk about the chapter, but of other things that are going on around the story and about One Piece and everything in general. Laz, I don't think I've talked to you about this yet, but what do you think about World Seeker? One Piece World Seeker.
You know, it's weird because I haven't really seen that much into it aside from like, you know, who's going to be in there. I know like the Vince Smokes are there. I know they have like this town that they were, or not town, I think the jail island, I think what it's called.
Okay.
Or something that's supposed to be there. So I'm keeping an open mind because this is something that's going to be completely outside of what you know normal One Piece games have kind of been. Okay. Like we had like, what was it? New Dawn, I think it was the one for the Switch and then for the PlayStation 4 and stuff, which, you know, I like that. And then, of course, you have like, you know, with Pirate Warriors and then Burning Blood. I think that did, you know, very well for itself. So to get something that is an open world, which I think really fits, you know, what we know of One Piece and everything. I think that's we have to go down that route as eventually. And I think the time is now to do it. As long as it keeps what One Piece is, like its nature and everything. Yes, and, you know, how we as the viewers, as like the readers or the watchers, they know what One Piece is. Not something like, you know, when I saw the comparisons of Spider-Man, you know, going around and slinging around stuff, I was kind of like, I understand where you're coming from, but it's like it's Monkey D. Like this is like how he does the thing. You know, it's when you start those comparisons, and I feel like it's either you're putting expectations even higher on what you're trying to sell, or at the same time you're kind of differentiating, you know, Luffy from being himself and attaching to somebody else instead. So I feel like they should really just, you know, take the time to really understand what this series, you know, can really offer with an open world game, and just put its heart and soul into it. Because I feel like if you miss on the chance now, I don't know if we're gonna get a second chance on this.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a sad truth, but I do agree with that. And if this doesn't succeed, we may not get another chance at this for quite some time.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever I think about World Seeker, I think about One Piece video games in general. After a chapter like today's, I think about you know the future of One Piece. Where can you imagine in a One Piece game, we're gonna be able to play as Kaido, we'd be able to play as Big Mom, be able to play as Shanks after knowing whatever he has going on, possibly being able to play as the 5 Elder Stars if we ever get to see like what the Goro says like thing, what they have going on over there. Like,
bruh,
the character roster is gonna be insane.
Yeah, the Buddha guy would be main every day.
Yo, he's probably gonna have like the best swordsman skills outside of Zoro's, because Zoro's actually gonna be number 1, but like he's probably like second in terms of swordsman skills that we're gonna see. Well, no, maybe third because Mihawk, you know, but we'll see. But hey, my boy Northside brought up Rob Lucci and Aokiji are revolutionaries. I've been calling it for 4 years now. I know that we used to always discuss this back in the old streams, Northside, and I definitely still am sticking with the Aokiji thing. I think the Aokiji thing definitely does fit, and it makes a lot of sense. But with my boy Robert D. Lucci, man.
Yeah, man.
I could see it by end of series, but for right now, if he is a part of the Revs, that would be pretty cool. But just having him be like the main center of Cypherpole will always be cool to me. So if he stays with Cypherpole and does not turn over to the Revs, just so that like there's not too many people turning over to the Revs, I would be cool with just Rob. You know, maybe it's because I want to see my boy Robert D. Lucci against Sabo and so many, you know, classic matches we could get out of that, you know, 5 stars and what have you. But if he is a part, or if he will become a part of the Revolutionary Army, man, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, but I know for a fact that you've been calling it for years, because I remember going all the way back to those old calls, especially after that chapter in Dressrosa. We constantly talked about that. So I definitely remember. I always remember those series from your North Side, man. That's why I always say, man, North Side got to come back on here and start dropping some bombs, man. Because those videos of yours were always awesome sauce, bro. Well, let me check something right quick. I saw one. Oh, right here we have a comment from Axe Gaming saying Shanks is a celestial dragon. What are your thoughts on that, Les?
I see the direction, but I'm gonna have to. I don't know, man. I think Shanks is just a regular person or something, but at the same time, it's like he's built up so much clout
Yeah.
to where he can literally just walk in anywhere he wants and can get away with it. I think like I would personally love to see like whatever his meeting was with Roger. I think would kind of tell us exactly who he really is,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like if for Roger to come ahead and take this kid aboard his ship, and the thing is too, it's like I don't even think he knows what the One Piece is. Because
Yeah.
if it's like with Buggy, it's like Buggy was there with him that entire time. You would think he would know something. So the fact that he doesn't know that, it's like again, there's like that one little thing he just doesn't know about. And I understand like where people are coming from, like saying maybe he like I wouldn't say evil, but he's just doing this because he wants to get something. He sees potential in possibly Luffy attaining all the things he couldn't get.
Okay.
So I don't know. So as a Celestial Dragon, that's so tough to say because it's like we look at Doflamingo, we didn't think he would ever be related to them, and
Yeah.
then the pipe bomb came out of nowhere. Yeah, he is one, and it's like, oh my god, like. But
Mm-hmm.
with Shanks, it's like I don't know if his personality really leads to that kind of nature. Maybe he'll
Yeah.
have a tie to the ancient kingdom. Maybe he's a D or something who we don't know, but like,
Mm-hmm.
or that's just how he is. But I
I
think
know. I know the
tough.
popular one that I've been seeing for quite some time is that he's a port goss, where he's like his real name is Portgas D Shanks.
So
But
yeah.
yeah, like I know I've been hearing that for a long time, but like where I stand on it is after this chapter, I think it's more along the lines of not only is he somebody with that much clout, but I think that he just has this, like something similar to a Doflamingo situation where he's except for, not the less dragon part, but in terms of knowledge, I think they recognize and respect, or maybe even fear, the amount of knowledge that Shanks has about whatever the case may be, maybe even about Void Century, about some deep dark secret, maybe he even knows about the National Treasure, or just something along those lines. But it can't just be fear, because I also think they respect the guy. After seeing them in this week's chapter, I mean, of course they were talking down to him, but it feels like One Piece characters that talk down to others or talk trash to others respect each other. Like Whitebeard and Shanks, they talk trash to each other. They respect each other. It feels or like it's like whenever you talk trash to your rival, but like you low key you respect them, that type of thing. We're like the girls say in this chapter, whenever they were talking to Shanks, I felt like there was this sort of respect, like, okay, we'll listen to what you have to say. Let's go ahead and get everybody out of here so you can say what you got to say. And I don't know, man. I mean, at this point, I can't refute any possibilities. Like if Shanks really is a Celestial Dragon, Oda can definitely make it work. But it's just not the way that I'm taking his character at this point in time.
I mean, man, the thing I'm interested in now is like exactly how he got there, because it would it'll be crazy if like that's how the chapter starts. It's like how he got there and everything, and then like Dragon just walks in, and is like, I gave him a ride, I gave him a lift.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? It's just like,
Gave him a lift.
why? Like, Dragon, what's going on, bro? What are you doing?
I gave him a lift. Oh, that's
Uh,
crazy.
but
Yo, what's that called? Somebody before you get to word too about this,
he,
I saw one comment that said from Alley Cat. Alley Cat said Shanks may have done a favor for the world government at some time in exchange for a favor when he chooses. It seems like One Piece does have a lot of favors. So and they brought up, or Alley Cat's bringing up that some sort of favor for the world government. And it does seem like, because with Sengoku and just the way like they'll just say, oh, it's because it's you. I can definitely see a favor like situation happening there. But we'll see.
it'll be interesting. Let's say, because how like going back to like Marineford, how like Whitebeard was gonna head off there, and then Kaido was gonna try and like ambush him there, right? Because I forget the details so much on that, because Shanks obviously went there so that way Whitebeard can get there, but could have been a possibility that the Gorosei had asked him that we know you're the only one you can step in the situation and prevent him from going and attacking Whitebeard. That way we only have one Yonko really to deal with. And that's probably the favor, as okay, after you do this, we'll do something for you after. Like,
Oh no, I wouldn't. Oh no, yo.
Because he could
because
do that respect, I could see it, but then it's just like there's that other side where it's like it could be because it's like realistically it's like your rivals, right?
yeah.
Why would you go there? But it's like I mean at the same time you realize that about the connection with Ace and stuff. It's like you couldn't let Whitebeard get snuck up on like that while his son is probably going to be dead. Like, but it's a possibility.
But
Just out there.
but I think the favor would go even further beyond, like even further before that. Like, but because I can definitely see a favor like situation, just maybe for something that we would never even expected. I don't know, but with this chapter, I look anytime that I try to think too hard enough, I feel like my brain's about to melt. It's madness. Let me see. Yes. Again, I did see that theory for Shaki being chased 40 years ago. As far as Shaki being Rocks, I'm leaning more towards she was a part of the group, but not actually Rocks herself. I saw another comment earlier, but I can't find it at this. Oh yeah, and Hazi bringing up right here. I find it interesting that the Goros say the most prominent of the Celestials, and to me that's very interesting, Laz, because I remember for quite some time we always look back on that 793 in Dressrosa when Akainu was talking to them, and the Goros say were basically like implying that they're doing their thing, and like we can't we basically kind of implying that the Celestial Dragons still have a hold on what they can and can't do. But after this chapter, I was like, well, they said they were the most prominent of the Celestials. I don't know. Yeah. Reading it verbatim, let me go back to that page. Verbatim, it states, let me see. Flipping flag nerds. I went right to the panel with Lucio.
Hey, listen, that was too hype, that panel, bro. Like I thought legit it was Greenville for a sec, but then I saw the way after. I'm like, wait, hold on. And I flipped it. I'm like, yo, Robert D. Like
that's right, bro.
Bro, yo, shout out to Kaku, man. This man rated laws like
he got his hat.
He got his hat, man. And Stuzy, listen, man. If Stuzy was watching No Way Out 2001, I respect her even more.
No facts. That's a hard shoot.
Yeah.
Right here it says like those with the highest authority in this world, those are the helm of the Celestial Dragons, the 5 elders. The helm. Those at the helm of the Celestial Dragons, the 5 elders. There is no single king of this world.
Yeah, they're literally steering the ship, basically. Like for where the war government is, man. They run things like. But I feel like at the same time, it's like I feel like whoever that figure is, man, probably has like even more control than we think. Like a de facto leader of the Celestial Dragons or something. Because it's like,
okay,
how do you get somebody in that vault and we don't see nothing of them? They look like a goddamn stick with like this, like a Pontiff Sullivan from Dark Souls 3, like type of
it's an ice queen.
It's just like yo, like how, and it's like for someone to go in there, it's like yo, how much importance do you actually have to go into that thing? That's what I'm thinking, man. I think it might be like whoever like the leaders are from like 800 years ago that are still alive, possibly could be that case.
Yeah.
But man, I just want like next week to come just so I can find out whatever it is this conversation is, only to be told like it's not happening.
dude, you know what would suck if like the chapter starts off with okay, and that pirate is, and then we switch shift to something else, and then we just don't get back to it. But the thing is that where we're at, like no matter where Oda goes, it's gonna be fire.
yeah.
Like so at this point, he can shift to anything else, and I'll be like, all right, I understand. I understand because I originally thought after last week that we were going to be heated if we didn't stay on the hat, and then the man starts off the flipping chapter with Kaido and Big Mom. Like, all right, well, I don't know, Coach. This is man, but flag nerds, man. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up soon. I don't want to make this too long because I know that there's going to be a lot of people watching this tomorrow after a certain point because the afterthoughts and the Recon's piece type of things. A lot of people like to listen to that after things, so I don't want to make it like too long, like an hour and a half, 2 hours type of thing. But yeah, first of all, Laz, thanks a lot for stopping by on right here on short notice, and I'll hit you up on Twitter but beforehand. So I appreciate you stopping by. I really want to talk about this chapter, man, and that's why I decided to go live right here with this.
Going live, pal.
Going live, man. But yeah, I'll just I'll read a couple more comments right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. And it was a lot of fun, yo. I had a blast. I'm finally coming on here to talk about One Piece live and the thing. I won't be doing this like really, really frequently when it comes to the live Recon Space. But as far as the afterthoughts are concerned, for a chapter like this, man, I would definitely have to come on here and live and talk to you guys, because it's basically the same thing as me, doing it pre-recorded and just coming on here and talking to y'all live. And it's always cool to get live feedback and seeing what y'all think. So like whenever I'm having a thought in my head, like, okay, it could go this way, could go this way, and then I look in the comments and like, okay, I can see y'all's perspective on that, and that's always really, really cool. For that. Hold on, damn it, Google Chrome again. Come on, no.
Hey man, but it's better than Firefox. That's what matters.
That's a shoot. That's a shoot. I hold on. I just saw this one fellow freaking Genai says the comment that this is a crazy guy. He says next chapter starts with NL on the moon. If next chapter starts with NL on the moon, I'm not finishing that chapter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so high the chapter ain't being finished, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna post a 2-hour video just me staring at that page.
As a shoot. That's a hard shoot, man.
He's up there with the Nier Automata and stuff, bro. Like just chilling. Like, oh my god. A-Tube.
Straight up facts, yo. Let me see. Chamarks asks for just in terms of wrestling, Dominion tomorrow or the day after?
Dominion is at 3 a.m. So I would say literally less than 4 hours from now. As in terms of getting watched live, yeah.
Less than 4 hours from now?
Yeah.
After this One Piece, I might do it.
I have to, bro. Listen, it's Kenny versus Okada, man.
It's Kenny versus Okada. I might take like a little like power nap. You know what I'm saying? I'll wake up and I'll read it, yo. But yo, once again, thank you to everybody who stopped by for the first ever live Recon Space. This was special to me, really special to my heart, man, to see so many of y'all coming on short notice. I didn't even give like a notifier before, and we still had 112, 115 people in here at one point in time. So that was really, really cool to have a lot of people come on here on short notice. I know a lot of you were hitting me up earlier that y'all were going to sleep. So just, I apologize to all my people across the world that are asleep and watching this afterwards, but I'm not able to do like streams on a normal basis like at other times because I was at work earlier. But yeah, man, it was so cool just doing this live Recon piece. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. For the past 6 months, I've been saying it. But, the Lord had his plan, and he was saying, Omar, you're going to do this today on 907 when Shanks comes up wearing a hood, invading the 5 other stars, man. You're going to get some crazy thoughts going on in your head, and you're going to want to talk about it live, man. And that's exactly what happened. So just coming on here, thanks a lot to everybody who donated, man. That was really dope seeing some of you just donating just to say some awesome comments, man. And that was some really cool stuff. So I really appreciate always the donations. I always appreciate the support. And it was really, really dope, man. And thank you all so much for sticking by me rereading the chapter, because that's basically what I did here. I was rereading the chapter and just giving my thoughts as the things went on. So that was really dope, just seeing everybody stay and stick with me throughout the whole rereading process and just listening to the whole thoughts and whatnot. But as far as the rest of the weekend goes, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get any more videos in terms of this weekend. It's E3 weekend, and I'm spending a lot of that with my friends and my family. You're probably going to be able to catch me on SJ Captain's channel. You're going to see me definitely on Twitter. Maybe I might be over on Laz's channel if he decides to do something when it comes to. I know I'll definitely be on Laz's channel for the World Cup, but I'm not sure if I'll be over there for E3. But yeah, since this weekend is E3, I can't promise anything. I know I definitely have a couple things in my head when it comes to I want to do One Piece, and of course I want to continue my catch up for freaking Tokyo Ghoul, Promised Neverland, and My Hero. But I don't think that'll be this weekend because I'm preparing, like I said, for E3. But I think I might be able to do one more One Piece video this weekend, so look out for that. But I just want to thank you all once again so much for stopping by on short notice. This is the first ever live Recon piece. I was just, after the whole day of thinking about this chapter, after reacting to it, to finally be able to come on here and just talk about everything that I want to talk about, I feel satisfied. Even though the Cavs just got swept, even though LeBron James is now 3-6, I can safely say that I can smile. I can smile because not only did we have an amazing and insane One Piece chapter, but because there's an awesome community here in the weekly One Piece experience. And I want to thank all of y'all for stopping by. Laz, once again, thank you for stopping by. And I will see y'all next time. Have an awesome sauce of a flipping day. And I will see y'all next time, man.